Good evening and welcome to the rest of the news. Our special guest this evening is Rick Howland.
I'm the Black Heart Conservative on WGTK every Sunday night at 7 p.m.
And
on WLLV Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 10:30 to 11:30. That's 1240 on the AM dial.
it seems to me that there's a lot of news about the Obamacare
Yeah.
coming out. Every day, something new is coming out.
Right.
More and more. Let me just read this one little paragraph from Donald Trump. It says, let me get this straight. You're going to be gifted with a health care plan we are forced to purchase and fined if we don't, which purportedly covers at least 10 million more people, without adding a single new doctor, but provides for 16,000 new IRS agents who have recently demonstrated their objective and professional integrity.
Yeah, right.
Written by a committee whose chairman says he doesn't understand it. Passed by a Congress that didn't read it, but exempted themselves from it. And signed by a president who smokes, with funding
So much for
administered
preventive
by a treasury chief who didn't pay his own taxes, for which will be taxed for 4 years before any benefits take effect, by a government which has already bankrupted Social Security and Medicare, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and the Post Office, all to be overseen by a Surgeon General who is obese and financed by a country that's broke.
That's broke. That's it in a nutshell. It really explains it. You
That's
know?
2,700 pages.
Yeah, he did just explain the quandary we're in right now with this health care bill. And since October the 1st, when everybody, when individuals supposed to be able to call up and get registered into the marketplace is the best way I can figure to explain it, because when they're explaining it, they all use different words. But you're not really signing up for the Affordable Care Act. What you're doing is you're getting, I guess, membership into the computer system so that then you can have access to the different plans that are going to be offered under the Affordable Care Act. And only people that are really getting signed up are people that are already on Medicare and Medicaid. I'm retired, so I was told I didn't have to do anything.
Okay.
People on Medicaid are called up and have called up, and there's a process they have to go through. Now I may have to do something, but no, when I've inquired, that's what I was told. Now I may find out later that might be just a way of getting me out of the system and then not ever getting anything.
No.
You don't think they do me that way?
No.
No, you don't think
No.
so? Okay.
I was wondering, so many people are losing their insurance. I wondered if more people are going to lose it than get it.
I don't see how it can be any other way, because there doesn't seem to be a mechanism or a grace period between what you have now and what exists, between what you have now and where you're going to go, and to the venue to which you will go. And very often, I don't think a lot of people are really seeing that they're being offered any options. I have a friend who was retired, several years older than I am, and was under one plan, had some eye surgery done, and now is in a quandary because at the first of this year, without notice, the insurance carrier that was being used by her the state of Kentucky that administers her pension changed providers. All of a sudden, the doctor that she was using, she can no longer go to because he's out of network, and she's staying somewhere where she can have help because it's an eye situation she's dealing with, and so she's out of state. So there's kind of a limbo thing going on with her, and but because of the utmost faith in the Democratic Party and utmost faith in compassionate the compassionate policies of the government. It's got to be those dirty Republicans that are doing this, or it's the evil insurance companies. And it doesn't matter that I explained that the plan that by law the plan that was offered can no longer be offered because of the mandates that the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare law mandates
Demands,
coverages that have to be on for every person that will be a paying customer. Every paying customer. I'm 66 years old. If I was older, I mean, if I had more money, and I was paying out of my pocket, or if I had owned a company, and I had to provide it, and I was trying to provide health care for my employees, I would have to treat myself and everybody that's, I'm 66 years old and single, but I would have to have maternity coverage. For what? I've never had a baby in my life.
It's kind of mixed up.
Yeah, it's not mixed up. That's not mixed up. No, that's intentional.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, that's intentionally done.
Now, we had this phrase that everyone's seen on television before, where it says, Obama is saying, if you like your plan, you can keep it.
Oh, he said it so many times. All the people that were upset because George Bush gave a speech at the UN where he admitted in the speech that Osama bin Laden did not have weapons of mass destruction, but it was an imminent threat because he had the means and the money, and he was running all over the world trying to buy everything necessary to make those weapons of mass destruction. He never said that that he had them, but the media has repeated it so often that after a while he stopped defending himself and just quit reacting to it. And now as Goebbels says, all you need to do to make a lie the truth is repeat it long enough and loud enough, and people will begin to believe it. But those same people will turn right around and know and have heard the President Obama talk about you can keep your doctor if you want it, you can keep your plan if you want it, and that nobody will take it away from you. Nobody will take it away from you. You can't get any clearer than that.
Yeah.
The word period cannot be more clear than period.
Yeah, he said period, too.
And yet you can lose your coverage, and you can lose the right to your preferred doctor.
Now,
That was a lie. Those were lies, and he repeated that lie many times.
If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor under the reform proposals that we put forward. If you like your private health insurance plan, you can keep it. If you like the plan you have, you can keep it. If you like the doctor you have, you can keep your doctor too. We will keep this promise to the American people. If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period. If you like your health care plan, you will be able to keep your health care plan, period. If you like your doctor, you'll be able to keep your doctor. If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. If you've got health insurance, you like your doctor, you like your plan, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your plan. If you like your plan, you can keep your plan. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you have or had one of these plans before the Affordable Care Act came into law, and you really liked that plan, what we said was you could keep it if it hasn't changed since the law's passed.
Osama bin Laden is dead. Drones are eliminating people, and privacy everywhere. But terrorist killings hit a new record of nearly 15,500. So much for the claim that Al-Qaeda has been decimated.
I don't think anybody's any longer complaining that except the administration
Yeah.
that Al Qaeda's been defeated. But you know it's what liberals do is they make a proclamation of something and they believe that it's like the emperor with no clothes.
I know what you mean. That's right.
The emperor that
Exactly.
poor fella thought that just because he proclaimed he had clothes and because the tailor told him he couldn't see them, so he said he made it so with his proclamation. Everybody was walking around looking at the king and pretending he had clothes on.
Yeah. EPA Administrator Gina McCarthy says global climate change caused by carbon pollution, quote, is one of the most significant public health threats of our time, close quote, thus forcing her agency to adopt stringent measures.
Yeah.
Yet carbon emissions are declining while temperatures are not going up. According to the EPA, emissions from power plants declined by 10%. CO2 emissions in the U.S. have actually declined by 12% since 2007, while average global temperatures have been flat since 1998. But he's cutting down the coal mining.
When the wall fell,
Yeah.
when communism fell into disrepute
Yeah.
in America, the socialists and the communists stopped being socialists and communists and went and got jobs working for the EPA and went into the feminist.
Can you
movement.
document that?
No,
Kind of.
yeah, kind of. You can, I guess. It's one of those things. Anybody's got any sense can figure through.
Yeah,
But that's an
yeah.
arrogance on my
See,
part.
that reminds me.
Forgive me.
We've got that movie called Agenda, and it cost us a little something.
Yeah.
But we'll send that out to anybody that calls right now.
Right.
We'll send them a free copy.
Okay. Call 893-2444.
That's right. 893-2444.
444. Yeah.
Now, and we'll send you that because it's just what Brother Rick was talking about
Right.
with the.
Is an effort by socialists and communists to slowly over a period of decades move
Yeah.
America from being a free market society and being a constitutional democratic republic to being a socialist
Big government.
big government country. But the point I was making about them, moving into the Communist Party, that all the solutions that come out of the EPA have to do with the attack on business and the attack on businesses that create jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
And if there's a way of destroying and creating confusion in an economy, it's when you have regulations being put out without going through the process of legislation, simply because you have a large omnibus style bureaucracy that has the right to rewrite its own regulations, which have the power of being actually legislation.
Yeah.
Okay, so this woman can rewrite the regulations and attack industries.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
just think about it. If carbon dioxide is all that bad, how come we breathe it out? That means eventually they're going to target us as individuals because we breathe it out.
And the trees need it.
And the trees need it. It's food for trees. It's photosynthesis. But check this out, Doc. You remember when we were young? Remember the old folks used to say?
Wait a minute, I don't know if I can remember that
You
far back.
yeah. But the old folks used to say if they could, they charge us for the air we breathe.
You're right.
Okay. Well, liberals have not. They're not trying to charge us for the air we breathe. They're trying to put the charge on us when we breathe it out.
I see.
It's not when you breathe in that you have to pay the money. It's when you breathe out.
Breathe out. Okay.
Okay, that's basically what this attack on anything that produces carbon dioxide is about.
Now, here's another article about Obamacare. It says in Kentucky now, this is from the Courier Journal, it says nearly 3/4 of those enrolled in a health plan qualified for a subsidy. But anyway, most of them are going into Medicaid rather than
Right.
paying into the systems,
Well,
which means
look-
it's going to,
Well, that's because the system is the computer system is so messed up that people who are coming into the system without already being introduced to the system,
Yeah.
they really can't do anything with them yet. So if you're coming from private insurance that say you've had from your job, or you're a business owner and you've been buying your own insurance, or you're a private contractor been buying your own insurance, you're not in that system. So
Yeah.
it's really hard for any of those kinds of people to really make progress in the Affordable Care Act system right now. So, but the people that could be very easily manipulated around and flipped into the system are those that are already in the system. That's why that's the case. But one of the things that when you talk about those subsidies, I was listening a few minutes ago. A single person making as much as $45,000 a year can qualify for insurance subsidies.
really.
We're not talking about down and dirty poor people. You can have a couple making as much as $62,000 a year qualifying for what you call it, a married couple. And now if they're married,
Okay.
however, if they're single living together, you could put 45 and 45 together. So you could make a case that that's really two people living together, unmarried, and they could both get subsidies for their $45,000 separate policies, and you would have a household income there of $90,000, and these subsidies are going to be taken from the pockets of the taxpayers. So they'd be paying out of their own pocket to pay them for the government to give them back the money through the form of a subsidy to buy insurance at a more expensive price than they used to have to buy it because the government got involved in it. Now, if that
Yeah.
ain't crazy sounding, I don't know what is.
This is from Gary Bauer's newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
It's the end of October, 29th of October of this year. And it says the Obama administration knew back in July of 2010 that millions of Americans would lose the insurance and doctors they currently have. Yet Obama repeatedly promised the exact opposite. The truth is clear. The president is repeatedly not telling the truth now,
No.
and millions of Americans are learning the truth. They cannot keep their current insurance plan.
Right.
It's all coming out.
Right. My friend I was telling you about, everybody who got notices from their pension boards or from their insurance providers that their rates are going up,
Yeah.
and their rates are going up because now the policy that they now have can no longer be
It's
offered.
not good enough.
Because according to the law, it is mandated that they have coverages that they may not even really want or need. That's the situation that they're in right now. So it's not going to be just a few people that won't be able to keep their insurance. It's going to be millions of people that won't be able to keep their insurance.
It belongs in the list of programs you already know about. The explosion of food stamps, Obama phones, which you are paying for in your current phone bill, cell phone bill, the abuse of the disability program, gutting welfare reforms, work requirement.
That was the thing that made the welfare reform of the 1990s really work.
Yeah.
Was that and really what it's done in the lives of so many people that in the 1990s, and I know we all know people who were on some form of assistance or another back in the 90s, and because of that work requirement, they went on and were stimulated to go ahead and do some things like get some education.
Yeah. Yeah.
Better their prospects by enhancing their education and their value in the workplace. And now, some of those people I see now driving around in BMWs and Mercedes, and they didn't at that time back in the 90s. They never thought they never dreamed of what they could do beyond being on the system. And they were stimulated. If they wanted to maintain the money, they needed to go to school. They needed to, and they looked up. In fact, they're coming out of school, and now they got a degree, and so they just go see, and all of a sudden they can get a job, and the job is paying how much, and the next thing you know, they're gone and glad to be gone from the system. And but President Obama a couple of years ago started giving waivers to the states not to enforce the work requirement portion of of the reform of the welfare reform of what was it, 1995, 96, whatever, I forget the year. Yeah. Well, I got one right here I wanted to say something about.
Okay, good.
President Obama's military coup purges 197 officers in 5 years. And this article is written by T.B. Dorsey. And I'm not sure where it comes from.
I didn't write that. Somebody else did.
Investor's Business Daily.
Business Daily. That's a newspaper, yeah.
Okay, but anyway, this reminds me that back about '09, before the don't ask, don't tell policy was changed, there was a General Thomas P., nicknamed TP Moore, Moore, made a speech over to a group of officers in, I think, if memory serves me, Landstuhl, Germany. And he was talking about, at that point, they were supposed to be doing a fact-finding, and he was in charge of the fact-finding to make a study of whether don't ask, don't tell should be maintained as a government policy, as a military policy. But in the speech, you got the impression he had already made up his mind. And in the speech, he was intimating that that things were going to change, and that people who couldn't go along with it would find themselves having to leave the military, and people who didn't want to go along would not come in. So eventually, the military was going to be remade to be very welcoming to homosexual lifestyles. And he said this in a speech, and I had a copy of it. I recently went back and tried to find it, tried to Google it, and I couldn't even pull him up on Google anymore. And I don't know what that's about.
What year was that?
It was during probably spring of '09 or spring of '10.
Really?
So
it was just a few years ago.
Yeah. It was before the don't ask, don't tell policy was changed. Before the law was passed that changed it. So at that point, I was afraid of this, and what I see here is 197 officers have been removed because of some form of disagreement.
Yeah.
One of the officers, Rear Admiral Chuck Gowett, commander of the John C. Stennis Carrier Strike Group, was relieved in October 2012 for disobeying orders when he sent his group on September 11th, remember Benghazi, to assist and provide intelligence for military forces ordered into action by General Ham. General Ham, that General Gowett was relieved. General Ham was relieved as head of U.S. Africa Command after only a year and a half because he disagreed with orders not to mount a rescue mission in response to September 11, 2012 attack in Benghazi. The general disagreed with the order, not that they weren't, and he was saying we need to go in there.
Yeah.
And he was relieved of duty because he disagreed with that order. Doesn't say he disobeyed it.
Yeah.
He disagreed with the order. Now, where'd the order come from? The State Department. Who runs the State Department?
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton. Who runs Hillary Clinton? Barack Obama.
Obama.
Right. There was another one. Major General Michael Carey, head of the 20th Air Force, responsible for 3 wings that maintain control of the 450 intercontinental ballistic missiles, and Vice Admiral Tim Giardina, the number 2 officer at U.S. Strategic Command. All of these people have been relieved for...
Yeah, now read this one. What does that say right there?
Another senior retired general told the Blaze on a condition of anonymity because he still provides services to the government and fears possible retribution, that they are using the opportunity of the shrinkage of the military to get rid of people that don't agree with them or do not toe the party line.
All right, read this one too.
Okay. Obama will not purge civil or political appointees because they have bought into Obama's ideology, Vallely said, this General Vallely. The White House protects their own. That's why they stalled on the investigation into Fast and Furious, Benghazi, and Obamacare. He's intentionally weakening and gutting our military, Pentagon, and reducing us as a superpower. And anyone in the ranks who disagrees or speaks out is purged.
That's pretty serious
yeah.
charge right there.
When you talk to people who are coming out right now, you get the impression that things are no longer serious in the military as far as their original mission when they joined.
Yeah.
You know, was considered to be. It's something else. It's something else. It has more to do with
Political
with
correctness.
political correctness
Yeah.
and so forth than it has to do with being prepared to actually defend the nation. And it's scary to me.
Yeah.
It's scary to me. I've reached the age where I'm scared about the way I'm going to leave here, but I'm no longer scared about leaving here. I mean, I can see it's an inevitability that at some point I'm going to leave here and go be with my Savior, you know. But I worry about my children and my grandchildren.
Yeah.
What are they going to have to put up with?
This is the petition to put prayer back in Kentucky schools. We have been working on this. I think she said there's about 27,000 people that have signed up to work on this project. And we would like to send
Praise
this
God.
to our viewers today. Again, just call that phone number, 893-2444.
Yeah.
And we'll send you the petition, and this side has you a little information about it. And the other thing we'd like to send you is some of these. These are free DVDs about Common Core, about Obamacare. There's actually 33 different DVDs, and we can send you the list, and you can
Right.
find which ones you
You can
want.
pick out what you want, yeah. Do you Runaway Slave? Do you have that one?
Yes.
Okay, Runaway Slave would be a great one to get. Agenda would be a great
Yeah.
one to get.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Mayoff 21 would be a great one to
Ooh.
get.
Yeah. Now that's not on the list, but we'll
Oh,
give
it's
it
not?
away. We'll get it away free.
If they want, okay, no. I know it
Tell them
used to
what
be.
that's about.
Mayoff is an African word. It has to do with extermination. And for want of a better word, that might not be precise, but in the 21, I forget the significance of that. But it's a
The thing is, the government was into that,
the government was into that,
and that's all documented in
and
that
the
movie.
eugenics movement and those who want to wipe out
We're going to have to run.
dysgenic stocks.
We're all out of time, but thanks a lot for watching. Thank Rick Howland for being with us, and
bless
God
you.
bless you. Tune in again next week for the rest of the news.